Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to 8 Minute Wisdom. This is Dana Scranton. Well, today's episode is about shattering a goofy rule, the 10,000 hour rule. Now, you may have heard of this. In fact, most entrepreneurs somewhere along the lines have encountered this, and it goes like this. It takes 10,000 hours of training to master something. There was a time when that might have had some shred of viability to it. But in today's world, with the technology and the information available to us, I'm going to tell you right now, 10,000 hours is bogus. Think about it, 10,000 hours. That's a bunch of time. Do you think that some of the elite military forces spend 10,000 hours preparing their warriors to go into extremely dangerous situations to execute their missions with perfection? No, they don't. There are many other examples of this. Now, Olympic athletes, they'll point to these people who train from the time they're kids until the time they stand on that podium, and they add up all those hours. In some cases, that makes sense. When you're training a kid to become an elite athlete, you can actually accumulate 10,000 hours doing that. But let's talk about this in the context of being an entrepreneur. There are certain skill sets that the entrepreneur needs to master. Marketing is one of them. Relationships, communications, tools. In the modern paradigm of the digital era, you have to master a few digital tools. But the biggest thing you have to master is you. That doesn't take 10,000 hours. In today's paradigm of the digital world and the focus capability that is presented to you, if you take advantage of it, you can create skill sets that lead to success in entrepreneurship without spending 10,000 hours to do it. Now, there's people who still hang on to that paradigm of 10,000 hours as a reverent, irreplaceable, irreversible rule of nature. It is not. Think about it. Back in the old days, you had to learn a lot of stuff on your own. You had to then practice it, trial and error, go through and create your own path. Well, we still do that today, but there's a major difference. We have a considerable amount of information available to us if we're willing to pursue it. We can find it, we can read it, we can assess it and determine if it's viable, if it's valid, if it's something we need to do. But what we absolutely do need to do is try it. We need to focus on the things that matter. And that means we have to sit down as entrepreneurs, lay out our plan, lay out our vision and our purpose. This is critical because once you get clarity, you can shrink the amount of time it takes for you to get to the success criteria you seek. Clarity is where it's at. The 10,000 hour rule, in my opinion, does not apply to the entrepreneur who is willing to focus, put in the time and energy to get to a milestone that they have crafted and designed with clarity. So that's one of the real tools in your toolbox, clarity. You have to know what you want, why you want it, and then a plan to get it. It's that simple. And failure, haha, failure is one of the best ways of accelerating your progress. It doesn't take 10,000 hours of failure to get to where you need to go. It takes failure trying some things that you believe will work. When they don't work, it's an opportunity to modify them. It doesn't take 10,000 hours to figure that out. So when somebody throws that 10,000 hour rule out there, don't get freaked out. Don't say, I don't have 10,000 hours. I'm going to go do something else. Because that 10,000 hours is one of these goofy paradigms in today's generation. It just doesn't make any sense. Look, I know teenagers who have become extremely financially successful in just a matter of a couple of years. They didn't put in 10,000 hours to do that. They focused. They got clear about what they want. They focused and they created the results in life that they want. From there on, well, it's a path. You can rely on what got you to that state, or you can say, okay, it's time to shift gears and play even bigger yet. Let's talk about playing bigger. When we talk about 10,000 hours, that's a long time. But if you play big, if you go big, if you look at what's possible and forget the probabilities at the moment, this can lead you to a different perspective about what you can accomplish in a short period of time. What you do not want to do is burden yourself with a to-do list that is 100 items long or more. You don't want to burden yourself with commitments to things that do not support what it is you want to do, that thing that you have arrived at with great clarity. You want to prioritize your time, your energy, and your focus to achieve that which is important to you. Scrap the 10,000 hours. Well, I think I've made my point today. So, having said that, go out and enjoy life. Don't worry about spending 10,000 hours to achieve something that you can achieve, frankly, in a few hundred hours with an intense focus and a dedication to achieving a greater state of who you are. So take care, and we'll see you out there on that wonderful frontier of entrepreneurship and the possibilities that represents. And we'll see you in the next episode.